The whole time I've been doing this Dolphins In Depth podcast during training camp, I have told you these cornerbacks, they're all right. It'll work. Doesn't look that bad. But I did warn you that backup offensive line, boo-boo. And I think you saw it in the Dolphins' first preseason game, a 24-24 tie with the Chicago Bears, who had previously beaten up the Miami Dolphins, which motivated Mike McDaniel, or actually it was demanded of him that their starters would play so that they get a little bit of redemption. Isaiah Smalls, Miami Herald columnist, is joining me. Isaiah, do you feel like the Dolphins?
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Do you feel like the Dolphins got the redemption that they needed?
Not necessarily, because the best redemption would have been that W, right? I know it's a preseason. It don't really matter, right? But I think the best redemption would have got that W. And more than that, I think the best redemption would have been scoring from the 1 yard line. That would have been, a cool little feat, because obviously we talk a lot about the Dolphins' short yardage issues, right? And just kind of see that play out, on that, on the first drive, after 15 plus plays, like they're really cooking. And it's like you get there and then all of a sudden, old habits die hard.
Wait. It's not old habits. It's things that they're working on that they clearly haven't fixed. Now, let me ask you this question, Isaiah. Let me ask you this question, because you've been watching training camp. You've watched all of the practice.
Yeah.
I know you would argue with me, Alexander Madison is back number 2.
Yeah. No, I would argue.
I know you wouldn't argue with me. He probably might be the best short yardage guy.
I would not. The numbers say that too.
Okay. So we're trying to test Jalen Wright.
I agree. And when I heard McDaniel talk about it afterwards, he said, I wanted to get that on tape. That it made a little bit of sense, because it's a corrective moment, right? Because I know kind of Jonah folded on one of those blocks, right? So look, I'm not mad at it. I just would have wanted to see that improve. Like we know that this is it's
the work in progress,
and that's fine.
I love that they didn't kick any field goals when they were in that short year.
No, of course not. Yeah, of course
they're trying to change that identity.
I agree. Look, now fourth downs. I'm a fan of the way that I know McDaniel got a lot of flack for his play calling, right? You could see it on Dolphins Twitter. People were pissed, right?
Why?
And I don't personally know. I think maybe it's I truly think that it's the 3 straight plays from the two and then the 1, right? That really had people like in a funk.
They had a problem with the 4 straight runs. What did you want him to do? Throw the ball like he's always done?
And no, I agree with you. And that's to me one of the things that I saw is a point of change, right? He wants to lean on this offensive line, wants to lean on the run game, because fast forward to December when you're in Pittsburgh and it's a little bit cold. I want this team to be able to run the ball, right? And the only way you can do that then, right, is getting these hard, getting it done. I'd rather they fail now than fail on the goal line in Pittsburgh, right? So that's my thing of it. I think he's trying to develop a new identity with this team, and I'm not necessarily mad at it. I'm not.
I don't want to be overly critical, because it's exhibition game 1. A lot of these people are young players. Now, how I could be. So I'm not, But Jalen Wright, I need more. I need more. Yeah. I don't like, and everybody who knows me knows this, I don't like when you gifted things based on your draft status or based on your money, or, and I get it. Alexander Madison is probably hurt now. That man got slammed on his head. Man, boy, that thing, he might be wearing a neck brace in Detroit. I don't think he's going to be practicing. That looked horrible, and I did not see him in the locker room afterwards. But Jalen Wright, bro, you got to give me more. There's been a whole lot of talk this offseason, a whole lot of work that you put in. Why am I not seeing it?
9 carries for 16 yards doesn't cut it. I agree with you.
And it's not just that, man. I I even know there's more there. Why am I not seeing it? And this isn't about Ollie Gordon because I'm not impressed with what he did yesterday. I haven't been impressed with his training camp. But like these young backs, y'all want to get it. We need to see more. We absolutely need to see more. In my opinion, if this Dolphins team can protect Tua and run the ball, you put that with this defense, you put that with these playmakers, you have 10 wins. Now, protection, I don't know, because I've been warning you about these backups. They are bad. And I don't know if it gets better. Like, can Liam Eichenberg come to the rescue?
Are you asking me that? Or is that rhetorical?
I'm asking you that.
I think he can provide a momentary Band-Aid, I think. Because I look, as bad as Liam Eichenberg was last year, he was dealing with injuries, right? So I will just for the sake of this argument, right, considering what we've seen from the backup offensive lineman now, and then what we saw of him during the time split with Isaiah Wynn towards the end of the year, where he looked better, right? I'm not totally, out of the mind that without they need to get rid of Liam Eichenberg, including with everybody else. I'm not of that agreement. I do not agree with that.
Liam would be
yes,
clearly the best offensive lineman of all the backups.
I agree.
There's no doubt about it. I'm at the point where I'd even play him at tackle because it's a little hot mess right now.
And I think that versatility that you mentioned, right? Because he can play guard, he can play tackle, he can even play a little center, right? So I think that versatility is why you keep him around and why he is the best backup so far, outside of maybe Andrew Meyer, right? Who obviously is dealing with some injuries, but yeah,
no doubt about it. Let's talk about what we liked from the preseason game. Obviously, you didn't like the tie. I was fine with it. You didn't like the
wait. Why? Why I didn't like the tie, right? Because you had multiple chances to win the game at the end, and nobody.
So did they.
Yeah, nobody was willing to step up to the plate. So that's the reason why I don't like that. It wasn't. And look, I heard what Tua said. Don't overreact. Right? It was Quinn's first game. I'm not overreacting. I don't. But they both Quinn and Zach have a lot to work on. Zach short-armed a few balls that would have been touchdowns. Look, he had some. I liked his deep throws, like the play to NWI, play to Taj Washington. Taj Washington actually got a little bit of wiggle to him too. We hadn't seen that in practice. I had not seen him with the ball in his hands and him being able to make moves like that.
Because he consistently made the first defender miss, which I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. He might have earned himself a few more opportunities with that. But, Quinn, look, I don't know how it looked being in person, but from where I sat over here at my crib on my TV, he looked a little scared at first. He did look a little scared at first. He looked a little bit scared. Granted, I will say this: his receivers didn't do him any favors because they were
his offensive line.
Yes, or his offensive line.
The sack in their red zone.
Yeah.
That turned over the ball to Chicago at the 5-yard line.
Yeah. That was bad.
Jermaine Ifedi, I don't even know if he touched the defender.
He did not.
I will say this. And it's like I walked in the locker room and Tua was he had just finished with you guys at the podium. He's like, get him on, get him. He was talking to me about all the backup quarterbacks. Get him. As if y'all get on me for not consistent play. Get him. And I was just like, bro, it's a rookie. What am I? I mean, but if Tua had done those plays,
of course.
Tua would be on a stick right now.
Of course. Yeah, of course.
He'd be getting filleted. Quinn Ewers can play better than what we saw.
Yes, I wholeheartedly agree with you.
It was not good.
It was
maybe awful. The moment was too big for him. Maybe he needed better offensive linemen. I love the way that he could look downfield and Now, Zach Wilson, same thing we've seen all camp, same thing we've seen all career with the Jets. When his feet are not set, that ball is going to spray. And when how many touchdowns did he miss? He missed 2 touchdowns. One, he could have gone to Farrell Brown instead of going to Alexander Madison on that play that Madison got hurt. Farrell Brown wide open. You're looking right. You're looking right there. You just say, "Oh shoot!" But I know Quinn, and his feet probably weren't set, and he probably didn't want to miss a 3rd touchdown because his feet weren't set. We saw the play to Tanner Connor, who again, I'm not going to ignore this, Tanner. You can play. You a baller. Why you keep not showing up on game day? Why? I know you didn't throw the bad pass, but that if your reputation is you don't show up on game day, that's your reputation. I know you can play. Like, why can't you show up? That's we'll put that to the side. It's true. Like, people get in my feelings because I say things, but what did Tanner Connor do yesterday? Nothing.
I mean, we only got one target, bro. It's hard to.
I know.
One target,
It could have been a touchdown.
Yeah, it would have been a touchdown if it would have been. You know what I'm saying? He can't throw the ball to himself too. Like, what do you want from him?
That's fair. That's fair. I know, but I'm waiting for Tanner. Like I have said for 4 years, you could play. Mm-hmm. Why can't you show people that you could play? Ollie Gordon saw some things I like, saw some things I didn't like. Devon Achane, he just got out healthy. Thumbs up, especially after seeing you get slammed on your head during joint practices. The Washington brothers, and they're not brothers, but we call them the Marx brothers. They're not brothers. Why I can't call these the Washington brothers?
That's real. I'm not mad at it. You throwing out a nickname early though. That's
I will say Taj Washington surprised me. You know, I've never really been high on Malik, but Malik is winning me over a lot. He's number 3 receiver in Penn right now. I thought his performance was really well. You can tell he's got developed chemistry with Tua. But Taj Washington, man, I was impressed. I was impressed. But now here's my question to you, Isaiah. Can you have a receiver that's full of 4 5'10", 5'11" receivers?
I personally don't think that's a good look. I mean, look, I understand. You know, you have Tyreek Hill, you have Jalen Waddle. That's not going to change, right? So I would think that you would try to want to find guys that complement their skill set versus replicate their skill set. Not saying that Malik Washington, Taj Washington are carbon copies of them. No, by no stretch of the imagination. I'm just saying that, like, if you look at them, their body size, right? And it doesn't. And at the end of the day, like, height from the receiver position, it doesn't really matter until it does, right? Until that's how I view it. It doesn't matter until it does, right? And so until you get in situations where it's like, hey, I want to throw that goal line fade. Well, who's going to be the guy to catch it? That's when it matters, right? So personally, Darren Waller. You would throw in hopefully a guy like NWI can make some noise there, right? And so to me, I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want my receiver room to look like that because it's too monotonous. It's too
monotonous. It is too monotonous. I agree with you, but aren't those your 4 top receivers? Aren't the Smurfs your 4 top receivers?
Don't do that. I would.
They are called Smurf receivers.
I know. Look. No. I'm willing to.
Who's better than them?
I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to bet right now on NWI being better than Taj.
Better than who?
Taj Washington. Yes.
Okay. NWI had one catch.
He had one catch. Made a guy miss, and Taj
made a guy miss every play.
I agree with you. I think, like I said, I think he's done enough to warrant more looks. Like point blank period, he's done that. for sure. After what I saw, I am just intrigued. I want to see more of you. Now, we saw what NWI did last year. He had 9 touchdowns. 6 of them were in the red zone, right? Like, until once he gets that chemistry with Tua, they'll be okay, I feel like. It's going to take some time. He was injured. He's getting back. He's getting healthy. You know, wasn't necessarily running with the ones all the time. Now I think he'll do better over time. Trust me. I'm banking on what you've done at the NFL level over what you're doing in the preseason against 2s and 3s. Personally, that's my philosophy.
Okay, all right, we could ride with that. Let's address a little bit of the defense. In my opinion, they are who we thought they were. I know the defense only got 1 series, but that's going to be a pretty good defense, especially when they have a surplus of pass rushers.
Yeah.
Now, I forgot who said it was champagne problems. Was that Weaver? Who said this is a champagne problem? Yeah. It's a champagne problem to have. I've never heard the term before, but it's true.
You never heard of the term champagne problems?
Never.
Oh, okay.
I'm just a poor kid from Carroll City, man. We just started drinking champagne. And when we was drinking it, we was drinking Andres. You know what I'm saying? So,
all right. Understandable.
So I love it. It is indeed a champagne problem. They have more edges than they've got space for. I don't know what they're going to do because they got some really tough decisions. Grayson Murphy, Derek McClendon, both of them shined in that game. That is not a surprise to either one of us because they both been balling all camp. What people don't understand is, and this is why people always hit me with practice, the Islanders in practice, we talking about practice.
Yeah.
What y'all don't realize, y'all saw 1 game. I have seen now 14 days of exactly what you saw in that 1 game. And there are consistent threads that you see. Yeah. Line is boo-boo. Your backup lineman is boo-boo. Your cornerbacks and your secondary, they not that bad. They've been doing their thing. Mm-hmm. And your edges, consistency and efficiency from Tua. I like the fact that they start to get a little bit of flow, but then I will say this: the Bears did not play a lot of press. They let them zone them up in preseason, and I'm sorry, and I say this again: if Mike McDaniel does not tell Anthony Weaver, I need to see some press, you are making a mistake. You are making a very bad mistake about your season. But the edges, they've been coming all camp. And I thought it at one point was the tackles are bad. Mm-hmm. And while the tackles are still bad, to see them come in the game and see them come in joint practice and see them come in preseason, they got a lot of edges. They got a lot of pass rushers. Yeah. And I'm at the point now where, yes, special teams is important, but I can't deny what Derek McClendon does on a daily basis. I can't overlook it. Mm-hmm. How do you handle who's in jeopardy right now? Cameron Good, Quentin Bell. Are we going to have to keep one less defensive lineman, one less safety? How do you find a way to fit these edges that are impressing?
I think that's $1 million question, right? I think you would have to. I mean, see, my first thought would be, okay, let's get rid of a safety or 2, right? Unfortunately, you have injuries in that area, right? I don't think Quentin Bell is in danger of making the roster. I don't, because he's really good in the run game. Unfortunately, I think you would have to see more from Cam Good, because so far Derek McClendon is certainly outplayed. So
Cam Good might be one of your top 5 special teams players. Does he make it alone on special teams? Because you're going to need a core group, and special teams showed you that they play pretty good. They holding their own. Now it's 1 game. But
that's true. I think, look, at the end of the day, and special teams actually did look really good. Let's actually give some shout out to special teams right now, because all their returns were really good.
They were well blocked. They were hella blocked.
Very well blocked. Like definitely shout out the special teams coordinator, Mr. Ackerman. Mr. Ackerman, shout out to you, sir. But look, I think at the end of the day, Ackerman's gonna have his say, right? So there will be core guys that will, has to be, because look, at the end of the day, people overlook the special teams, but that guy does have a little bit of say. That's why.
No. He should get. I've always said, special teams. You get your call. You can call 5 shots.
Exactly.
I think because how I'm like puzzled by what we've seen on special teams with not special teams at nickel with Cornell Armstrong. I think Cornell Armstrong might be one of his shots. I think Cameron Good might be one of his shots. Mm-hmm. I think those are two of the top. Willie Gay, I saw he really did well on special teams. I didn't know Willie Gay was a special teams player like that. So it's going to KJ Britt. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens with special teams unit moving forward. Because, is Cameron Good going to make the team as a special teamer? What about Quentin Bell? And that's the thing. We got to pay attention to these roles that these guys play on special teams, especially Elijah Campbell is a special teams guy. He suffered. It was a strain to, I think, the thigh. He should be fine. But if something happens to him, you in a bad spot with your gunner. I watched one play. I couldn't even see who it was. This is how bad it was. The snap. I couldn't even see who it was. The 2 blockers threw the gunner into the Gatorade, like gone. He was off the camera. Like it was like the ball snap, boom, he was gone in the Gatorade. And I was like, yeah, that's a problem. Like you really got it. I think Jack Jones is working on it. I think Ethan Bonner's working on it. Cornell Armstrong is a proven gunner, but you cannot have a good special teams unit without good gunners. So I'm curious to see how that plays out. But Cam Good, EJ Biggers, he nearly blocked the punt, and I was like, oh, okay. And I will say this: while I think Derek McClendon was my top performer in that game, Biggers, he was balling. It wasn't always technically sound. Sometimes he left the gap getting penetration, but he moved his offensive lineman. Like that guy could get into the backfield. I
saw the same from Matt Dickerson as well. Like he had a few good plays as well.
I love Matt Dickerson.
Like he looks night and day better than he did last year. Like night and day.
I don't think we really saw him last year though. He wasn't here for training camp.
But like when we did see him, it was obviously right. It was a very short, small sample size. But you could tell like he's one of those players that after being in the offseason with the another year of the defense, like he's a lot more comfortable for sure.
He said Austin Clark. He gave us the Zach Sealer speech where he was like, when I worked with Austin Clark, he taught me so much about the fundamentals of the game that I didn't know. It just helped me improve. Because we talked to him this week, and I was thoroughly impressed. I was like,
shout out!
But I've been rocking with Matt Dickerson. Come on, I've been rocking.
I know. I'm just he didn't crack your list just yet.
It's a tough call. What's going to happen there?
It really is. It really is.
It's a tough call what's going to happen there, and hopefully everybody stays healthy. Even Butler, I think it's Matthew Butler. Matthew Butler. He was pretty respectable. I got a spot for him on my practice squad. But Dickerson, woo! That there are very few pieces on this team that if you cut them, I could say you're gonna say goodbye to them because. Yeah, they gonna get claimed or they're gonna sign elsewhere because defensive linemen like Matt Dickerson, they're not easy to find. Pass rushers that can consistently bring that heat like Derek McClendon and Grayson Murphy, they're not easy to find. Now the Dolphins wish they could find some offensive tackles. Like
that's the issue that they seem to be consistently having because. Good Lord. I'm just yesterday. You think about the injuries that they already have on the offensive line, and how unfortunately just because of the strain of the position, excuse me, like one guy might miss a week or so. It's look, I don't know where Liam Eichenberg is. I think that's one of the question I'm going to ask this week to Mike McDaniel when I see him, because he needs to be back sooner rather than later.
When did you ever think Liam Eichenberg would be your savior?
No. Look, stranger things have happened, obviously, but good for him. Good for him.
No doubt about it. So you're going to be up there in Detroit covering practice. What is it that you're looking for from the Dolphins against a Dan Campbell defense? Like, people in Chicago, the Bears reporters, they were trying us. Isaiah, they were trying us. They were like, "Oh, we hope this isn't too hard tackling for you today." like we were like, y'all want to square up over here?
Yeah,
the rules of engagement were determined. Yeah, it was not a tackling period. Yeah. Y'all was slamming people on their head, hitting quarterbacks.
Yeah,
y'all gonna call us soft? Like, hold on.
I never expected the product on the field to bleed over into the media room, and that's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, y'all can't be calling us soft. Well, yeah, we cover a soft team, but we ain't soft over here. Yeah, y'all team was violating. Y'all team was doing extra, slamming people on the head. And
slamming people on the head.
Quarterbacks.
Yeah, I don't slam people on the head hitting the quarterbacks.
It was they were like, oh, we're trying to set an identity and get back to being the big.
And I respect that. I do respect that, because I think anytime that you have a new coach come in, right, especially when it's an offensive coach, right, it doesn't always translate that tough ruggedness that you need, right? Usually you get that from a defensive head coach, right? And so to see this offensive team kind of playing with that mindset, I'm impressed. It's been a couple months? Obviously I'm being facetious, but but Ben Johnson already coming in, getting stuff right.
When I learned that Al Harris was their secondary coach, their pass game coordinator, I was like, because I know Al from Miami, and he's he a Miami guy, and Al is if you remember Al Harris from when he played, woo, that was a physical player right there, and his unit. Man, they get it, Miami, and as I said, I hope Anthony Weaver realizes he needs to give this Dolphins team a lot more press looks than what they're facing, because them receivers got them little small receivers, boy, they get rerouted a lot. They got rerouted a whole lot. But Dan, Ben Johnson is from Dan's book. I've covered Dan Campbell, like I told you. First, when he took over as the interim coach of Miami Dolphins, their very first period stretch,
and then Oklahoma drill.
That's crazy. And he was setting the tone, and so you know how the Detroit Lions play; they're gonna be physical.
And so that's kind of you asked what am I looking for? That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for one. I want to see how Patrick Paul holds up against Aiden Hutchinson, right? Like you said it last week or last Friday, excuse me, that look, they have a problem on that left side. The Bears do, right? You're not gonna really have that problem, in Detroit, right? And so I want to see how he faces against those ends over there, because I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it's Aiden Hutchinson and Zadarius Smith on the other side. So
I think he got waived today. I'm not 100% sure, but something going on with him and his girl. They done broke up.
I did see that they broke up. But I don't think that he's wait, hold on. I don't think he's waived just yet now. I don't think he's waived. I think he's still on the roster.
I'm gonna look it up right now. Right now.
So I want to see how Patrick Paul fares there. 2, when we're talking about you mentioned the secondary is held up. I want to see them boys, specifically how those corners hold up against Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams. I want to see that point blank period. Like those are 2. That is one of the better receiving cores in the league. What you look surprised?
It says he announced major personal news today. why do I care about him breaking up with Cash Doll? Like
It was
it's like
it was a black love story. It was a little, she's from Detroit. He, was a new guy in Detroit. I don't care. I don't really invest that much in celebrities' lives, but
yeah. I mean, I can't even find. I guess he wasn't cut. I saw something where he said,
yeah, it wasn't. You saw. You might have gotten Cinto.
They say, yeah, it might have been a joke, like he got
You
cut
might have
from
gotten
Cash
Cinto.
Doll.
Yeah, that he got waived from the relationship.
Yeah. That's probably what it was, because I guess everybody, man, whatever. I don't care about their relationship. Yeah, I'm Larry Borum wasn't horrible, but clearly you need to get better. He had been getting better, and I don't think he was that much of an issue in the game, but all of the backups, they need to get better. So I'm curious to see what happens there. I'm curious to see how the Miami Dolphins defense handles Detroit's running game, and obviously Detroit's got some hell of wide receivers, and Jared Goff brings you the same level of consistency as Tua. We'll get to test out these cornerbacks a little bit more, but so far they've been all right. I can't
That's fine. Let's right now, as it stands right now, Jared Goff is a better quarterback than Caleb Williams, right? And as it stands right now, Jared Goff is a better receiving core than Caleb Williams. And so I think this is a test unlike any that they've seen. That's the question why I couldn't necessarily get a direct answer from Tua and McDaniel. Like, will the evaluation process change considering where the Bears are and where the Lions are? Because I'm not saying that like it's and granted, you don't want to treat each games like a measuring stick, right? Like you don't want to see, because each team is
steady building. You gotta steadily build on. I don't even think the results matter. You just gotta figure out what your issues are and figure out if the player can fix it, or if you need a new player, or if you need a new identity. Like right now, I could tell you, I think the Dolphins can run with power. I think they can run with efficiency. As
the DCC, so
whatever. As is with what they have on the offensive line now, especially Love running from the left side. But I don't know if they can afford another loss, like into an injury. But we shall see.
Nope.
On that note, Isaiah will be in Detroit. We'll be doing podcasts from there. As you know, we'll be doing the live blogs as the practices are open. Looking forward to seeing Isaiah's work from Detroit. And I will be writing some columns and doing my first projection of the 53-man roster. So hopefully you'll tune into the Miami Herald and continue to monitor the work that we do covering the team that you love. On that note, we are out.